Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of CampusCare EdTalks. EdTalks, a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. I, Mehek Dhiman, your host for the show, would like to welcome you all. And our topic for the discussion is what is classroom management and why is it important? And to express her viewpoints on the same, we have with us Ms. Shweta Yadav ma'am, principal of Sunbeam School, Varanasi. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your precious time. So, ma'am, let's start off with the session, shall we?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, ma'am, when we talk about classroom management, so why is it important and, why is it an important skill also?
Yeah, the classroom management is an integral part of any teaching learning procedure. Whatever happens in a class is completely depending upon which way is the classroom being managed. How is the environment of the classroom? What is the mental setup of the students as well as the teachers? And which way is the entire process being carried on? So it's important for any teacher to understand why should classroom management be there, because it includes four very important topics. That is to set up the rules, which way should the teaching learning process go on, and if there is some disturbance during the teaching learning process, what should be the interventions being taken up, and then what is the teacher student relationship, and fourth most important is the teacher's mindset. The teacher should always have a positive mindset before he or she enters the classroom, so that the children, those who are sitting there in his or her classroom coming from various backgrounds, they are all brought to one platform, and that platform provides them a conducive environment for learning. So that is why the classroom teaching management is very, very important.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think a positive mindset, it's really important when it comes to, dealing with students. Uh, Thank you so much for answering. Moving forward, how to stop, classroom management from being too strict? How do we make sure that the, rules and everything is not too strict for the students and they actually enjoy it?
Yes, it's very important. While a teacher is setting up the classroom rules, the classroom norms, the teacher has to take care that it shouldn't be too strict. This is an environment where you cannot impose anything on anybody. Children, they have to be involved in learning process. You cannot impose learning. So you have to positively involve the students while you are setting up the rules, where you have to give some time to the children, where they are able to discuss, they are able to ask, they are able to put questions. So this time of students should not be restricted, and a teacher whosoever is taking the class must be ready to face the questions, must be in a position to answer the questions put up by the students. So while setting up the rules, the teacher has to keep this thing in mind, that I'm dealing with learners. I have to give them equal opportunity to ask questions. I cannot impose. If a child has a problem with even a slightest portion of the topic, that child should be confident enough, fearless enough to stand up and ask. For this, the environment has to be friendly and free of fear, where the children, they are able to raise the questions. So it shouldn't be very strict, and the teacher should include, in fact, some of the students while setting up the rules. Which way do you want the classroom to go on? Because the moment we share our strategies with children, children, they feel themselves involved, and then the learning process becomes easier and children enjoy it instead of being afraid of it. So it's always important that the classroom norms are not too strict, and while setting up the norms, children are given their own space of questioning and discussion.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very beautifully explained. So, moving forward, ma'am, how important do you think, is student involvement in the whole process?
Yes. Students' involvement is most important in the whole process, because the entire teaching learning environment depends on the receptive mode of students. how receptive the students are while the teacher is delivering. If the teacher delivers and students don't receive, then the learning doesn't happen. And for whom are we teaching? We are teaching it for the learners. So if the learning is not happening, the entire process is of no use. So it's very, very important that the students, they are taken into the consideration while making up the entire lesson plan, where they are able to be a part of it.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, lastly, ma'am, when we talk about, the classroom management and everything, student involvement, and how we think, it shouldn't be too strict or too good. So, why is it important? Why is it, the need of this hour? Why do you think is so important?
See, this is not so important, this is most important, because the whole procedure, why the entire system is set up, why is the entire discussion going on, why are we setting up rules, why are we making such arrangements? It is all happening so that children, they are able to learn. Till now, the focus was not so much there on learning outcomes. But when the NEP has started focusing more and more on learning outcomes, and each and every child is focused upon that whatever is the learning outcome of a particular topic it should be achieved by the children. So to ensure that the learning process is going on, the children are studying, learning, understanding, they are able to evaluate, create, analyze their own learning. It's important that the classroom environment is such where they are able to achieve the learning outcomes of a topic. And that is why the whole setup of the classroom should be fearless, in which students are asking questions, in which students are discussing things. That is why now the AIL is there, PBL is there, where the discussions go on. While discussing a project, students, they are made into small groups. They are given a project. They are discussing so that the way learning is happening, that is visible. Until the learning happens, the learning takes place, and students are able to use the learning in their day-to-day life. The learning happen cannot be ensured. So we have to see that the learning happening in the classroom is being used by students in their day-to-day life, in their normal course of life, so that what purpose with which a particular topic is introduced or a particular topic is being taught to the child, that has its purpose, and the whole purpose, the whole motto of learning is achieved.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today. It was a really wonderful session. I hope you too did enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, again for sharing, your knowledge and experience on the topic. It was indeed an insightful and informative session. Thank you so much again.
See, if before entering the classroom, teacher is able to set up the classroom norms, how to manage the class, because a teacher knows very well what kind of student a teacher is going to deal with. All the students will not be same, but for that there has to be a differentiated learning. You cannot all teach all the children in one way, but there is definitely one way in which one child can understand. So the teacher has to understand that one way in which that particular child will also understand. So that is why the classroom management has to be taken care of very effectively.
Absolutely, ma'am. And thank you so much again for being here. It was lovely having you here. Have a great day, ma'am.
Same here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And for all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am.